All right, it's 5:30. Let's start. Welcome in, everybody. It is Magic Game Day. I'm Jake Chapman. That's Chrissy Birdsall, and we're kicking off a three-game homestand this week. The Magic off a pretty successful trip out on the road over the course of the last week. You dropped that game against Boston 8 days ago, but then vengeance against the Philadelphia 76ers and the Detroit Pistons. Big wins in both of those cities, including on Friday night against Detroit, and maybe the win of the season. And now you come back, and hopefully that week of vengeance continues. These Chicago Bulls, that first opening homestand of the season, dealt the Magic one of their worst losses of the season. That was back on October 25th. Final score of that one was 110-98, and the offensive numbers were pretty bad. Were pretty tough to stomach, Chrissy Birdsall, that night. But this is a new and improved Magic attack. They wake up today a top 10 team in the league in both offensive rating and defensive rating. You've won 4 of 5. Things are looking up, and you come in tonight at 12-8 on the year, 7-3 here in the friendly confines of Kia Center, and getting set for a matchup with the Bulls tonight. Spurs Wednesday night. And then, of course, on Friday, we'll see the Miami Heat. We've got group play, NBA Emirates, NBA Cup to discuss, Chrissy. So many things as we get set for a rematch tonight against the Chicago Bulls. They're a team that's scuffling. Magic playing some of their best basketball of the season and coming off a big win on Friday night in Detroit. Have I covered everything?
I think just about that. But first of all, happy belated Thanksgiving.
Thank you.
Happy belated Thanksgiving to all of our Magic fans out there.
All right, first of all, let's talk about that. Let's not bury the lead. You had steak for Thanksgiving?
Yeah, I did.
It's amazing.
Yeah, I know. Even Coach Mosley, after the interview, he was asking everybody, all the media members, what their Thanksgiving was like. And I said, we had steaks on the grill. And he was like, yeah, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
That's much better than turkey, whatever you guys ended up having in Detroit. But I think in between all of Thanksgiving MTEs, college football going on, you got 2 really good Magic wins in between there. 2 big NBA Cup wins, 2 big vengeance wins, as you mentioned, at Philadelphia and at Detroit. It does feel like you're in a little bit of a vengeance tour. I don't know what era of Taylor Swift that would be. Reputation, I think that is.
Oh, I get the reference you made.
A little bit of a reputation tour, but these were these teams that had your number at the beginning of the season. 3 of the 4 teams that you lost in that beginning of the losing streak. You had Chicago. You have a chance to get back at Detroit and Philadelphia. You take down 2 of those 3. You have Atlanta a little bit later in the season. But right now you got a chance to take down the Chicago team. A much different team on both ends of the floor than what we saw back in October. Yeah, for sure. It's a team that started out 5-0, and it's almost been the opposite. If you go back, 3-4 weeks now, really since the beginning of November, the Magic started off 1-4. Here they sit at 12-8 now, 20 games in, and a Chicago team that started out 5-0. They're now 9-10, a game below 500. Magic have been able to take care of business all season, really going back to the beginning of last year against sub-500 teams. This feels like a game tonight, Chrissy. Just before we dive into X's and O's, et cetera, like, you've built up all this momentum if you're the Magic. You did it out on the road, as we mentioned, tough places to play. Even if you go back to the Boston game, yeah, that was a loss. That was a tough game. It was second night of a back-to-back. Last time we were in this building, we were knocking off the New York Knicks for a second time this year. You feel like everything is trending in the right direction right now, and you feel like you have an opportunity against a Chicago team that has some injury concerns that we'll detail. But as we just mentioned, really struggling right now. The Bulls coming off a loss to the pretty lowly Indiana Pacers. They seem like they've done about a 180 from their 5-0 start at the beginning of the season. You can't blow it tonight. This is a game that you absolutely have to get, because it'll feel like you just sort of set yourself all the way back if you lose this game tonight. Not to put too much into one game, but you kind of got to get this one and set yourself up for hopefully a successful week here at Kia Center against a team that feels like they're not playing their best basketball right now. Yeah, it was something that you and Dante talked about on Magic Insiders, that it's not a must-win, but it's almost a must-win. You're getting to that point because it's a really good opportunity to build on that momentum that you started back at the Kia Center, and then you carried it onto the road. Yeah, you had that loss against the Boston Celtics, and I know you don't like any moral victories. To me, that was the epitome of moral victories, with the way that bench performed in that game, that you were down so bad off of back-to-back, but then you have Jett Howard pulling a 30-piece, all of your bench players getting involved, nearly coming back from a 26-point deficit to Boston in that first half. As much as it counts as a loss, I feel like there were so many good takeaways from that game, and then they carried that momentum against Philadelphia, against Detroit. You have an opportunity here. Coach Mosley talked about playing back at the Kia Center. You have 3 games here, and then 4 or 5 after that New York trip. a really good opportunity to just build that routine once again, stack a few more wins, keep that momentum going as they've been playing really well right now.
Last time we saw the Chicago team, we got to go back. We got to dive in. 110-98 was the final of that game. The Magic made 3 3-pointers that night, 3 of 24 from three-point range. That's the worst output as far as three-pointers made for any team so far this year across the NBA. Not just the Magic. Across the NBA, no team has made less than 3 3-pointers so far this year. So there was that. We got to clean that up a little bit. 12 assists to 20 turnovers. That, to me, is the stat that really leaps out at you. The Magic were, you jumped out. You scored 30 points in the first quarter of that game. It was really the second and fourth quarters. You scored 19 in the second and 18 in the fourth. Whole second half, the offense kind of struggled that night. But it's the only time this year the Magic have failed to score 100 points in a game. It was early on in the season as we were having all these goofy conversations about pace, but I think at the very least you have figured that out. The turnovers are down. You're executing within the half court. You're executing in transition as well. It feels like a completely different team than we saw earlier against this Chicago team. With all of that said, though, they still have a lot of weapons. Josh Giddey is a walking triple-double. We know what Vooch is capable of doing. Mm-hmm. It's a very young team. They've got a lot of energy, and transition is going to be the big key. This is a team that wants to try to run you off the floor. We play well typically against teams like that, but if we don't share the basketball tonight and if we cough it up 20 times, we're in for a basketball game.
Yeah, it could be really interesting. This is a team, you mentioned the pace, second in pace, third in points in the paint, fourth in fast break points. Orlando Magic's actually third in fast break points.
Yeah.
Not to mention that there, but this is a team that likes to get out and run, and Tristan Da Silva said it earlier today, is whoever controls the pace early on in this game is going to set the tone for how this night is going to go. And for the Magic, they want to set that tone early. They want to slow it down on the defense, force them into the half court, make them really work for those baskets. And then when they get those stops, run out in transition and get a basket. We saw them do that a lot last week, and they've worked really well for them.
Will Dawson makes a good point. Jalen Suggs was not available in that first game, and that makes a big difference. Look, Jalen has, I think he's won 7 straight games that he has been available. This starting lineup with Jalen Suggs in it, the starting lineup we'll see tonight, is 6-0 so far this year. And so with Tristan Da Silva in there, and when you have Jalen Suggs, I think that is the proof's in the pudding right now. This group is playing with a little something on the offensive side of the ball, and then obviously we know what Jalen is able to do defensively as well. Trying to get that before Bane was heating up. Desmond Bane, I'm going to tell you guys this right now. There's 2 big differences when the Magic head out on the road. And you're 5-5 so far this year. It's not like you're road warriors just yet. But I saw it in that Houston game that we lost, and I certainly saw it on Friday night in Detroit. The 2 big differences is I'm traveling with the team this year. Obviously, I think that makes a huge difference. But I think the real big difference, if I'm being serious, is Desmond Bane and the attitude that this dude brings. Going back to that Houston game, you could just tell he had like a swagger about him before the game. And then on Friday night in Detroit, that's what was missing last year. And I think our guys were sort of naturally going to grow into that. But there's almost, and I hate to do the Batman Bane, what was it? I was born in the darkness. Yeah. You merely adopted it.
There you go. There
is like some villainous stuff going on with Desmond Bane right now. He loves to shut up 20,000 fans out on the road. He has added, I guess you could call it swagger, but he's added a little bit of nasty confidence and edge to this group that I think we had already just a little bit. But he's been there before. He's been through the fire before, and so he is not at all intimidated by going into Detroit and trying to exact a little revenge, going into Houston against a big, tough team like we saw earlier in the season. And I think, obviously, you think back to the game winner against the Trailblazers that kind of turned this thing on its ear and at the very least got him going. Desmond Bane scored 37 points the other night, and he didn't make a 3 in that game. He is attacking right now. He is operating from sort of within that 5 to 9 feet area with all those floaters and tough finishes. He's just scratching the surface because as soon as the 3 ball starts falling a little bit more, look out. He's still at 31.5% three-point range so far this year, but that has been trending upward over the course of November. Boy, it wasn't that long ago that people were talking about whether or not the Magic gave up too much. Can we keep giving Memphis first-round picks into perpetuity for Desmond Bane? Because the dude has absolutely delivered over the course of the last couple weeks, and the thought of that trade not working out in our favor as of a couple weeks ago, you understood that was reality, but I'm pretty sure everybody understands the role that this guy's playing right now.
Yeah, and seeing a ton of comments on YouTube right now. Bane scoring 37, no threes, very impressive. That trade might have been the best trade this offseason. Seeing a little bit about Jet Howard, too, who's getting some practice shots down on the court. And yeah, that Bane performance, the fact that he put up 37 without hitting a single three, going 0 for 5 from beyond the arc, that was what stood out to me the most, because you bring in this guy specifically for three-point shooting. That was an area of emphasis for that team in the offseason. And then you bring in a guy who can shoot from three, but he's showing that he's a much more versatile player than just a 3-and-D guy, that he can go down, attack the rack, get those floaters and tough finishes, and he brings that quiet confidence to the rest of the team. And we saw it, especially against Philadelphia. I felt like that they were on a run so heavy that Andre Drummond, the only thing that he could do was try and stop the square up against Philadelphia, because that's the confidence that this team is operating on, and you can hear it from the players. You can just see it in their practices. You can see it in the team. That this team feels like they are finally gelling together, coming together, going in the right direction. The defense is finally starting to click, and now we'll have to see if they can do it again against Chicago.
Magic currently a top 10 team in the league in both offensive rating and defensive rating. You're 6th in net rating. It's all coming together right now, and whenever you start playing better basketball, I've always noticed that the comments start coming in from all over planet Earth. Right now, let's see. What do we have here? Dr. Gel is what I'm going to call him. It could be Durgel. I'm not sure exactly what the name is, but he's tuning in from the UK. So shout out to Dr. Gel. We appreciate you for tuning in. We've got Bane train references all over here. Somebody talking about Jet Howard getting 3 balls up. Yeah, I mean, we didn't do any streams last week. We took Magic Insiders off Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, so we didn't get a chance to talk about Jet Howard's fourth quarter. Became the 13th player in Magic history last Sunday to score 20 points or more in a quarter, had 31 points, 22 in the fourth in that loss in Boston. But, boy, that group made it a ball game. Noah Penda, Jace Richardson, career nights for those two as well. And then you go to Tuesday night in Philadelphia. Anthony Black becomes the 14th player in Magic history to score 20 points in a quarter. He had 31, a career high that night. So you're getting, and then, of course, AB was the one who put the game on ice on Friday night against Detroit. You're getting contributions from all over the place right now, Chrissy. You're feeling like you're getting perimeter shooting from a lot of different guys. You got Tristan Da Silva shooting 40%. Hell, Wendell Carter Jr. still at 45% on the long ball so far this year. AB is up to 34%. And when you look down the bench, now you have some options. Guys like Jet Howard, I think you feel pretty comfortable. If Chase Richardson has to play some spot minutes, we know you're going to get Paolo Banchero back, but over the course of a long season, having that depth is going to come in huge. Coach Mosley's been talking about it all year, defense and depth, and the depth, I think, has showed up over the course of the last week, and it's going to be a big key for the next couple weeks as well.
Absolutely. One more representation on TikTok. We got MM Vitter putting in some Brazil flags, so
let's go.
Representing all over the world here for the Orlando Magic. But I did see a comment on TikTok just talking about Jalen Suggs, and he talked about him a little bit earlier, but just he is a hustle player all across the floor. We saw it in that game against New York. He was running up and down. He was making a play. Even in that first half against Philadelphia before he got ejected, he had 11 assists. He was doing everything, and you know when he can turn up and score when he needs to, but I love all of the stuff he does outside of the scoring, the playmaking he does. He looks like a quarterback out there, and he always talks about his football experience translating to basketball, and I feel like he's now really starting to click with the guys. Some of the passes that he's making, the players seem like they're expecting those crazy passes more, so they're able to convert off of them, and I feel like that's been a really big key, having him back fully healthy, really on the end of that minutes restriction there, and seeing what he's been able to do.
Jalen the Juice Man, he played 34 minutes in that game against Detroit on Friday night, and he does. He brings the energy. Look, earlier in his career, he was a different player here at home than he was out on the road, and literally, he's like Goku. Like he charges up when he's on the floor, and there's 19,000 fans screaming his name in here. Now being able to take that show out on the road and sort of channeling his energy into the right direction. Look, sometimes you watch him, and he's like a bull in a china shop, and it's like, do we want him to be a bull in a china shop? Because he just pings back and forth. And when he's able to sort of control it and harness his energy, he's a special, special player. And his teammates respond based on the amount of energy he's expending. How could you not when you see him flying all over the place for a loose ball? That's Jalen Suggs. That's his role on the team. But you're right. He's refining it right now. He's 9th in the league in free throw percentage. He is 10th in steals per game at 1.73, only playing about 25 minutes a night on the average. And now that we're starting to lift those restrictions a little bit, you're starting to see exactly what he means to this group. When Jalen Suggs is on the floor, it's a different team, and he absolutely has been, I think, delivering here at Kia Center, but able to kind of carry that growth out on the road. All right, do we have Coach Mosley just yet? Let me take a look-see here. 5:45, the timing is right. I'm going to pot him up. We have any comments coming here, Chrissy, that we want to address before we hear?
I think
from
one
Jamal
thing
Mosley?
I really liked was double-double Dell is what we need to see every time.
Okay.
And we talked about him a little bit throughout the year, but just what he's been able to do on both sides of the court doesn't always show up on the stat sheet, but you can definitely feel his presence in the paint, and that's one area that I'm always looking out for, especially in a game like tonight because Chicago is a very good team in the paint. We talked about it, top 10 in points in the paint. That's one matchup I'm going to be looking at specifically, Vooch and Wendell Carter Jr., see how they're able to match up against one another.
Once upon a time, centerpieces for the opposite team, Wendell and Nick Vucevic. And Dell had 11 rebounds the other night. The big key in Detroit on Friday night was he was able to stay on the floor. I think Detroit was just trying to foul the man out in both of the first two times we've seen that team. Played 32 minutes the other night. All right, we got Jamal Mosley down in the interview room. Let's check in with the head coach.
Coach, I believe over the last 15 games, you guys are both top 5 in both offense and defensive rating. You know, at a time when teams across the NBA are still searching for answers, how valuable is it to, 1, have identified a way to play, and 2, to be making strides towards it?
I think it's great. It's great for our group, great for our coaches to understand exactly what we know we can do. You know, obviously it starts with a defensive end for us. These guys have, you know, bought in, following game plan, understanding what we need to do each night, and then offensively being able to convert and trust the way we've been playing.
You guys faced this Bulls squad a little over a month ago. Things were a bit different, but just what can you take away from that first matchup going into tonight?
The pace of the game. You know, I think that hasn't changed for them since that first matchup. You know, they're continuing to play fast, push the ball, make or miss. So our ability to get back in transition is going to be key for us tonight. Understanding how well Giddey's playing, knowing how Vooch has played, you know, time and time against us. Those things are always the key. So understanding what we need to do there, recognizing the game plan, knowing who we're closing out to, how we got to sit down and guard, and not try to get into a back-and-forth game with them.
Coach, rating top 10, how are you doing today?
Hey, how you doing?
I'm doing good. You're rating top 10, as you just mentioned, in the recent stretch, but also all season. Is that just a sign to you that the decision-making and the process for this team is just going according to plan on both ends without, you know, getting too high or too low with the flow of the season?
It's great you say that. You know, you talk about not getting too high, too low. That's what we've talked to our guys about, and then also, you know, stating the process of what we've been doing, sticking to that, knowing that we're trying to do that each and every night, just focusing on us. And the opponents are different. Style of play is different in a lot of areas, but the things that we can control, we work on controlling those, and the other things that we can't, you focus on what we've worked on every single day.
Coach, to the point of Giddey, he's averaging nearly a triple-double this season. When you have a 6'7" point guard that can kind of do everything, how hard is it to contain him, and what do you think you learned from the last game in terms of containing him?
I mean, Giddey is tough. The way he plays, the way he pushes the pace each time down the floor, getting into the lane, drawing fouls, all those little things. He's tough to contain. So finding the right matchup for him is going to be key for us. You know, shooting the ball better, but just playing with extreme confidence, getting guys involved. You know, you see he spearheads that group with his voice, but also with his play. You know, and so our ability to find the right matchups on him is going to be key for us tonight.
Coach, you're 4-6 through your first 10. You've won now 8 of your last 10. What's the biggest difference between the first 10 games and the vibe and the around the locker room versus now? And what has really been the biggest change in all of that?
I think just trusting the work that we've put in. You know, obviously we talk about it going to take some time. You're going to hit lulls in the NBA season. We just happened to hit that one early. But our guys being able to be resilient enough to know that with what we worked on through training camp, the focus of our defensive intensity, the attention to detail, the focus on the game plan, sticking with that process and not shying or straying away from it, and then just being able to stay true to it no matter what was going on.
We've talked a lot about how the Bulls like to push the tempo, but the last 2 games, you have a game where you score 140 points. The last game against Detroit, a little bit more of a grinded out game. What does it say about this team, and how important is it for a team to kind of be able to win in any style or whatever the game kind of gives you? Whether you're scoring, whether you're not, whether it's fast, whether it's slow.
You got to find a way to win the game. And I think that's what our guys have, bought into and understand. The league is so different with different styles of teams. Like you just said, one game in Philly, it's a fast-paced game. The next game in Detroit, it's a grinded-out type game. And the team that we're creating and becoming is a team that needs to figure out a way no matter what happens. And we've got to be able to sit down and guard each and every single night. But we also got to be able to push the pace on certain nights and take advantage of different matchups that we have. That'll be, throughout the year, being able to find that.
Anything else?
All right. Thank you. Appreciate it.
All right, there he is. That's Jamal Mosley, Magic head coach, as we get set for game number 1 of this 3-game homestand. The Chicago Bulls in tonight. They're 9-10. The Magic sitting at 12-8 on the season, 7-3 here at home. Jake Chat, Chrissy Birdsall here with you up on the radio deck. We'll have the call tonight. I will. Beginning at
Not me.
She's going to be doing a whole bunch of stuff. Just won't have the call tonight.
Yes.
7:30 for the tip. We got our friends from Peacock in the house tonight. 7 o'clock for the pregame show with Brandon Kravitz. You can hear us on 96.9 The Game, our flagship station here in Central Florida, all along the Orlando Magic audio network. That includes the iHeart Radio app and the Orlando Magic app as well. We'll be streaming on those. Outside the listening area, you can check us out on Sirius XM and on NBA League Audio Pass as well. Chrissy, any takeaways from the head coach?
I think one thing I liked was he was talking about the first 10 games versus the last 10 games, and just saying that no matter what was going on, even in that lull where they lost those 4 games straight, they were still trusting the work. They were resilient, staying true to their identity. And I think that was really important because in the beginning of the year, there was so much emphasis on pushing the pace, playing faster. And then you saw this team, they took a step back. They said, no, we are a defensive team. We're going to be a defensive team first. And then when they started leaning into that identity, that's when they started playing really well and letting the pace take care of itself. And I feel like that was emphasized by Wendell Carter Jr. and Tristan Da Silva earlier today, both of them saying that it was a little bit easier once they went back to that identity. It felt like the sky was falling, but it was only a matter of time until it started to click. I think having all your pieces back was also a huge part of it as well. You're still missing Paolo, but having Jalen Suggs back, integrating Bane and Tyus Jones, working with that pace, I think that was really important. They needed to have those struggles early so that they could perform to the level they're playing right now.
It's a good point. You're going to get Paolo Banchero back. You're going to get Mo Wagner back as well at some point. And so that's going to give you obviously more firepower, more punch offensively. But you bring up a really good point that this team's backbone going back 2 seasons now has been on the defensive end. All of the consternation, all of the worries about pace at the beginning of the year, the whole idea is just to let your defense help your offense out a little bit more, and certainly you're seeing that as of late. Fast break points, I mean, as you mentioned, the Magic third in the league at fast break points at 19 a night. The Bulls right behind you at 18.6 points per night. And that's what they want to do. That's what they were able to do. The last time we saw these guys, which was, game number 3 over the course of the season, those fast break points were big that night, 22-10 in Chicago's favor. Magic really couldn't get anything going offensively that night. As we mentioned a moment ago, it's the only game that you haven't scored 100 points. Final score was 110-98. You made 3 threes in that game. You had 12 assists compared to 20 turnovers that night. So Orlando was still at that point trying to identify exactly what it would look like offensively. Once you sort of, and it took the road trip that came right after that, once you kind of leaned into your identity on the defensive side of the ball and sort of trusted that the offense would take care of itself, that's exactly what happened. And so you got to start with that tonight against this team. You mentioned Josh Giddey, or at least Coach Mosley did. This dude is like a walking triple-double. He is literally averaging 20.5 points, 10 rebounds, and 9.3 assists over the course of the year, playing all-star caliber basketball, but he's going to be the one leading the break. Transition defense, so key tonight. You know, anybody who's played basketball knows the basic principles of transition defense. First, you stop ball. You make sure you're communicating with your teammates. And in today's NBA, this Bulls team is either getting layups or they're spraying out for threes. And so you got to make sure those trail threes and the guys spotting up along the three-point line are sort of in your peripheral vision as you're getting back and playing transition defense. Stop Giddey, but then make sure you spray out and get a hand up for those 3 balls.
And this was a guy who led the team with 21 points in that win against the Magic. So they know that that's the emphasis for them coming into tonight, especially with the team, the Chicago Bulls, with so many injuries coming into this game. Kobe White was doubtful last time that I checked. Not really sure what his status is going to be coming in. And that's the thing, is that when you lose a key guy like him, that Giddey's going to even have more of a plate to lead this team and make the plays that he needs to do. So that emphasis on Giddey. I love what Coach Mosley said, too, in that press conference, is saying that, this is a different team than what they were at Game 3 of the season. But they're looking back at that film, and they realize that this is a team that still likes to get out and run. So transition defense is going to be really important. And not getting too high, not getting too low, crashing the glass, defending without fouling. All of that stuff is going to be really important. And having that Game 3 to look back on that film, knowing that this is a little bit of a different team, is going to be really important for them to come away with a win.
And that can be a big key when you're talking about a team that likes to get out and run, is if you're going to be shooting a bunch of threes tonight, and I'm talking about the Orlando Magic, you better make sure you're either making them, you're getting good looks, or you're tracking down those long rebounds, because long shots mean long rebounds, and that's exactly what Chicago's looking for. Kind of cut the floor in half when you're grabbing a long rebound at the 3-point line and pitching ahead. Giddey is one of the best with the ball in his hands in transition, and then you got guys who will spread along the 3-point line. Guys like Kevin Herter, guys like Buzelis who can hurt you in transition, and Trey Jones played really well as well when we saw these guys last. And obviously, we've got a battle of brothers tonight, kind of underplayed, but Tyus and Trey Jones squaring off tonight. All right, we got comments coming in. We got about 4 more minutes left with you guys before we kick it down to the floor. Who's coming up next? Marley, I believe?
Yes.
Is that right? All right, we're going to kick it down to Marley coming up here at 6 o'clock. Anything interesting there on all of the various chats that you're monitoring?
Just seeing a lot of different players being highlighted. I've seen people talking about Jace, talking about Noah Penda, who we saw a lot in that Boston game going back. Didn't see him as much in those last 2 games. But just a lot of things to like about this team going forward. You talked about the defense in depth. I'm not sure we'll see how much depth that they go into tonight, but I mean, this team, there's a lot of different moving pieces. They're still figuring out those rotations. We're only a quarter of the way into the season. They were talking about that earlier today at shoot-around, that there's still a lot of time in the season to figure out those necessities, figure out those rotations. So I'm really excited to just see what this team's going to do. Obviously, Tristan Da Silva getting the start again tonight. He's been playing really well at the beginning of the year. Would love to see him turn up, get himself a big game here tonight. And Jalen obviously coming back as he continues his minutes to increase. I mean, it's going to be really interesting to see. I think there's a lot to look forward to with this team. It's going to kick off a really good home stretch. Just got to see if they can perform.
Yeah, it's interesting. A lot of love for Jace, Noah, and Jet. We get it. Like, they're barking at the door for their minutes. But in order for them to get minutes, other guys need to not get minutes.
Exactly.
And like, who would you guys have get their minutes bit into right now? Because you sure as hell can't keep Anthony Black off the floor the way that guy's playing. He's played 7 straight games. He's scored in double figures.
Yep.
Right now, he is on the floor in crunch time in close games. He's been outstanding over the course of the last month. Tristan Da Silva is making his 9th start tonight. You don't have any problem, I think, with him in the starting lineup, although I will say he's kind of cooled down a little offensively over the course of the last couple weeks. But we know Tristan is a fill-in-the-cracks type guy on the offensive side of the ball. I think we trust what Tyus Jones is doing with the second unit, getting him organized. He was able to knock down a couple big shots in that Philadelphia game the other night, and at the very least, he's dishing out assists and he's not turning over the basketball, which is what Tyus Jones is here to do. And then I think Goga has kind of woken up a little bit. He's had a couple consecutive good showings. J.I. was good the other night in Detroit as well. Yep. You need all these guys on the glass. You need them engaged. You need them rebounding, and you need them defending in the cases of Goga and Jonathan Isaac. So I think you feel good right now about your depth. You don't necessarily need to force those guys into opportunities. With that said, let me see where that comment went. Somebody just said something about giving Chicago the belt, which was kind of funny. If that's the case tonight, if you go out and you lay the smack down a little bit, then maybe we will have some minutes for J and J, Jet, Noah, and Jace before the end of the night. But those guys are doing exactly what they needed to do and need to do when given the opportunity. They're pouncing on those minutes. But with that said, I think you got guys in front of them right now that are playing well, and why mess with something that's working very well right now. The Magic, I think, starting to hit on all cylinders. And as you return home, this is one of those games, I know I mentioned it, this is one of those games don't blow it, guys. Let's not blow it. Let's take exactly what we built up over the last week out on the road, smackings in Philadelphia and Detroit, and let's take it to the Bulls here tonight. Hopefully Kia Center will be rocking. Reminder, 7:30 tip tonight. We'll have the pregame coming up at 7 o'clock. You can lock us in the Orlando Magic Audio Network here in Central Florida. You can hear us on 96.9 The Game, our flagship station. You can always stream us on the Orlando Magic app, on the iHeart app as well. Outside of the listening area, check us out beginning at 7 o'clock, NBA League Pass Audio, and on Sirius XM as well. She's Chrissy. I'm Jake. We appreciate y'all for tuning in. We will be back on Wednesday. Let's send you down to the floor. Go Magic.
So excited to be here with you guys today. The energy is great. Tonight's game is looking really good. We're obviously gonna get that win, and we have a lot of fun things in store, so stay tuned on this live. Wherever you're watching from, make sure you hit subscribe or follow, whatever. So you wanna stay tuned with all of our recent content. We have a lot of cool things coming up, guys. So who's excited for tonight's game against the Bulls? I'm reading comments from YouTube and TikTok and Twitch. I'm gonna switch over, so I'm gonna get to all of you guys. So drop some questions in the comments. Who do you guys wanna see? But in the meantime, let's head over to my favorite place, the Magic Authentic Retail Store. They have an item of the night, guys, and I haven't seen it yet, so we're gonna go check it out, but I'm very, very excited. I love when they do these matchups. I think it's so cool. Honestly, right now, I feel like I'm trying to collect them all. I think I've gotten pretty much every single matchup tee that they've done so far. But hello, everybody. Welcome, welcome. Let me check the comments. What's going on? Someone wants to run into me so they can do trivia. Okay, if you think you know Orlando Magic knowledge and you think you could win my trivia, let's go for it, because we do have a gift today, guys. We do. We're winning this World Series this year. Marley, hello. David from Mexico, hello, guys. We always get a lot of Orlando Magic and play the song in the chat. I love to see it. I love the energy, guys. The energy is good today. I know I say this literally every time, but hey, when I feel the energy is good, I know we're gonna win, and I know we're gonna get that win today. Someone's at the store right now. That's awesome. Play the song. It's me, 123. You're doing such a great job. I look forward to watching you. Thank you for being here with us today, guys. I'm excited to be here with you. So excited. Where are you guys tuning in from? Let me know. All right, guys, we're almost to the team shop right now. Let's check it out. All right. Let's go. If you guys see anything on the way that you want me to check out, put it in the comments and let me know. But let's go find that matchup tee. I think it might be up front. So let's look. We already got a lot of people coming in tonight. Tip-off is at 7:30 tonight, so really excited. Oh, I think it's over there, guys. Let's check it out. But yeah, as you can see, it's only $15, guys. The Bulls versus Magic matchup t-shirt. This one looks pretty cool. Let's go try to see it up close, should we? Let's see. Hello, hi Josh, how are you? All right, guys. Oh, is this it? No, it is over here. Let's go check it out. They have so much cool shirts in here. I literally want everything. Insane. All right, I think it's here. Let's just take a peek. Ooh, wait, this one's actually really, really nice. I love that like shadow in the back. This is sick, guys. What do you think about this? Rate this 1 through 10. I'm gonna give it a solid 10. That is super, super cool. Let me put this back the right way. But yeah, let's try to find a fan for trivia in here because I have a gift for all of you guys. You guys are loving the shirt. So many 10s in the chats. I love to see it. All right, guys, should I go try to find a fan right now to play trivia with? Let's see. Yeah, you guys love the shirt. I love to see it. Yeah, I do have a gift for the trivia. It is a $10 gift card to the store, so you could literally use the $10 for that matchup tee, and then it's only $5. That's a steal, guys. That is a steal. A 10, that's fresh. Kevin said that's fire. I love to see it. PJ is watching from the Philippines. All right. Hi, excuse me. We are live on Orlando Magic right now platforms. I do trivia with some people. We have a gift, a $10 gift card for the store you could use. Do you think you know Magic knowledge? Would you be down to play this trivia?
Is it knowledge from this year?
It is.
Okay, I've watched most of the games.
All right, let's try it. Let's try it. Might as well. Hey, it never hurts to try. Exactly. Okay, question number 1. Who was the leading scorer in Magic's victory over the Pistons this past Friday?
Desmond Bain.
There you go. Okay, you're good. Guys,
7 points.
that was my next question. Look at you. All right. We got one more for you.
Okay.
Here we go. Ready?
Yep.
Okay. Where did Desmond Bain attend college? I have some question answers for you.
Okay.
So we have A, Texas, B, Texas Tech College, or C, Texas Christian University.
He went to TCU.
Hey, look at it. You got all of them. You win this gift card. Let me get it out of my phone real quick.
Sweet, okay.
1 second, chat. Bear with me. I love to hear that. That is so good. Okay, chat. Bear with me while I try to get this out of my phone case. Hold on. Okay. There we go. Thank you. Oh, it is so good.
It's okay.
Oh my gosh. Of course this would happen to me. Do you? Right. Wait, there we go, guys. I think we're starting to get somewhere with it. Maybe not. Maybe. There it goes. Chat, of course this had to happen to me. They are not. So, all right, here we go. And do you think that you would use this gift card on tonight's matchup tee right behind you? Do you think it's nice?
On this one? Maybe.
Maybe. Really? Rate it 1 through 10.
Is there anything on the back?
There's not. I thought the shadow was pretty cool.
That is.
Right?
Who is that on the shadow? Or just anybody? It is pretty cool.
Yeah.
I mean, I would say 8.
Okay, nice. I'll take that. A lot of people in the chat agreed with that, so that is pretty solid. But I'm so proud of you. You did so good today, and here is okay. I'm still. There's no way I'm still having problems getting this out. Oh my goodness. You know what? Maybe you could take it. Just rip it. Let's see, chat. Bear with me. Technical difficulties, guys. That is it. You got it. Show the chat the gift card. We finally got it. We finally got it, guys.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Hey, you know your knowledge, and I love to see it. Thank you again. And thanks for bearing with me on that.
Absolutely.
I can't believe that happened. Hey, only on this live, of course.
Right. Thank you.
Thank you,
Go
guys.
Magic.
Yes, go Magic. All right, guys, let's head out because I think I am going to go interview someone. And so I'm really excited for this. I love... Hello. All right. Guys, I can't believe that happened. I am getting rid of this phone thingy because, man, oh man, I think we were there for a solid 5 minutes trying to get that out. But hey, he knew ball, and I am so proud of him. I'm glad he got that $10 gift card, and he liked the matchup tee too. So maybe he'll get that. Who thinks they would have won that trivia? You guys are literally laughing in the chat about it being stuck. Guys, I really, not my fault. Blame my phone case, not me. Not me. That was so funny. Hello from Mexico. Hello, guys. Yes, all right, so I think we're going to head back to the court. On the way, we can see the guys warming up in action, getting ready for tonight's game. So super, super excited for this. A lot of you guys are in the chat saying you would have won that trivia, and I love to see it. I love to see it. Go Magic. So cute. What do I think about the new rookies? Honestly, I think their energy is bringing such a new, young, powerful energy to this team, and they're really, really fun to watch, and they're doing amazing, so I love to see it. Who's been surprising me the most recently? I would probably say Tristan, but let's get back to interviewing with Dante. I'm going to meet up with him right now, guys. We're going to get some insight and just ask him some questions in the chat. Here he is. Hello. How are you? Good. I'm good. Good to see you. All right, so we got some questions for you.
Okay, are we live?
We are live right now.
All right, well, good to be with you guys.
Yes.
Good to be with you.
So, the chat has questions for you. I have questions for
Okay,
you.
okay.
We are ready to get some insight, okay?
I love hearing from the chat. That's
Yeah,
gonna be fun.
we love the chat. We love the chat. Okay. Question number one. How impressed were you with the Magic win in Detroit, and how do you think that will impact the team tonight?
Well, I think it's a great question. I was super impressed. That was the biggest game of the year. I mean, to go into Detroit, a team that had won 13 in a row, so they had won 13 out of 14 by the time we got there, and then to not start well, to give up a 10-point lead in a 2-minute span, so we got a tie game with 4 minutes left in Detroit, where they don't lose very often. To win that game was huge. That was our biggest game of the year. That was a huge win. To see that atmosphere, to see the way the group came together, I think a win like that, it could absolutely catapult you moving forward. Now, problem, Marley, is you cannot overlook tonight. This is as important a game. If you let this one get away from you, it's almost like that one didn't matter. So you can't overlook Chicago, and I know they won't. But tonight is huge, too.
Now, with all that being said, what do you think it's going to take for us to get the win tonight against the Bulls?
Yeah, it's going to take a lot. I think you got to protect the basketball. We turned it over 20 times last time. It was our worst offensive game of the year. The Magic made 3 threes the entire game. They scored 10 fast break points. They had 12 assists, and it's the only time all year that we've scored less than 100 points. It was against these Bulls, our third game of the year. But this is back when they were trying to get things figured out. Right. So we're obviously a lot further along since then. They've started to figure some things out. So hopefully you don't have a repeat. Chicago has a lot of injuries. All the guys that hurt us in the first meeting aren't playing tonight, but protect the basketball, move the basketball, get out and run, and we got to defend better than we did last time.
Yep. Yeah, the dynamic has definitely changed, and I like to see it. You know, I feel like it's just flowing, and like everything is going really, really good. So I love to see it.
You're right.
The chat, let's see if they have any questions for you.
Okay, fire away.
Let's see. Oh, they want to know who's been surprising you the most recently. They asked me this, I said Tristan. Just because, you know, I feel like his energy this year is different, it's powerful, and I love to see it. But what about you?
Yeah, I think Tristan's a great one. I mean, but I think we saw it for stretches a little bit last year.
Yeah.
You know, he stepped in and was able to start, I think, about 42 games last year. This year, this will be his 9th consecutive game that he started for Paolo Banchero. That'll be his 9th straight miss. But to me, it's Anthony Black. Anthony Black, who we thought could be an X factor. Like, if we knew that if Anthony Black plays like this Magic team can take off. Yeah. But the last 7 games, I mean, he's averaging almost 18 points a game. He's scored double figures in 7 straight. In the last 7, during that same stretch, in the last 7 games, there's only 2 guys that have more steals than Anthony Black. So he's doing it on both ends of the floor. He's able to finish. It's the offense. Like 31 points in Philly, that was huge. I don't think that the offense we're getting from Anthony Black is what surprised me the most in a good way. We knew he's capable of it, but I love that only year 3 he's starting to figure that out. Yeah. It's huge.
All right, well, thank you so much for the insights. Pleasure speaking to you, and I'll see you around.
You too. Let's get a win, Magic.
Let's get it, guys. Woo!
All right,
All right, chat, what did we think about that? Let's see, I will respond to all the comments right now that I didn't get to while we were doing that. Let's head onto the court, though, while I read your comments. All right, let's sit over here. Amazing, they're gonna show up tonight. Yes. Nico said, play the song Love from Finland. That's so cool. Play the song, guys. The song will be played tonight. I can guarantee it. All right, let's head to the Magic side because we don't want to see this. We want to see our boys getting ready for tonight, you know? Let's see. But yeah, make sure you're asking many questions, guys. I'll answer anything. I'm gonna head over to YouTube now and check out those comments as well. Ooh, someone said Jet Howard is someone that they've been watching a lot and they're very, very surprised by him. Yeah, he's been on a really, really good run. Yes. The shirt is perfect. You guys are still talking about the matchup tee. Yes, it was fire, guys. If you're here for tonight's game, don't forget, go to the team store and get that shirt. A lot of Hi Dante's in the chat. It was so cool talking with him. So cool. Team Suggs. Love to see it. Where's Franz? Let's see who's actually out. Oh, I see him right now. He's right over there, guys. Yes. We need the new logo for car magnets in the store. That would be a good addition, yeah. Always got to rep the Orlando Magic, guys. Go Magic from Kyle Gaming. Will Dawson in the chat saying go Magic as well. Yes. All right, I'm going to switch to TikTok. Let's read some comments on there. There is a game today, yeah. We are going against the Bulls today, guys. This is going to be an easy win for the Magic. Yeah, I'm telling you guys, every time I say it, we end up winning. But I genuinely, the atmosphere in here, the energy and the power that you can see just from them warming up really can show you that, you know, we're ready to work, we're ready to grind, and I can feel that win. I really can. Who all is warming up? I see Franz right now over there. A lot of the guys were out here earlier. Let's see, who do you guys see out on the court? Where am I from? I'm from Orlando. Yes. Ooh, if I could describe the Magic in one word right now, what would it be? I would say powerful. I think we are so powerful, and I'm telling you that energy. And guys, don't forget you can watch the game on FanDuel and NBC tonight, so make sure you are tuning in. When you guys go to a game, do you get popcorn or nachos? I feel like those are like classic basketball game little snacks. I'm a popcorn girl. I am through and through. Popcorn, yes. Tip-off is at 7:30 tonight. Usually it's around 7, so tonight's a little bit later. Deshaun said, let's go Magic. Cohen said, Magic are so underrated. I love the support in this chat, guys. You are bringing all the energy in this chat, and I love it. Anthony said, let's go, ring us this year. Yes, that is the energy. Thanks for the time update, of course. R. George said, Magic on top. You know it. You literally know it. That is what I'm talking about. Guys, drop your favorite Magic player in the chat right now, and let's see who gets the most love. Let's see. over to YouTube, but where are you guys watching from? What platform are you using right now? I love this Orlando Magic page. They're always live when there's a game. Yes, make sure you guys are following us on all platforms. You don't want to miss it. We have so many cool live streams and just things coming up you don't want to miss out on. AW Performance Hockey is doing the Orlando Magic lyrics in the chat. S-Star said against 2, we are going against the Bulls tonight. It's me 123, love the lives, it gets us hype. Yes. I love to see it, I love to see it. All right, chat. Well, thank you for hanging out with me. You guys always make it so much fun, and the energy in the chat was amazing today. I love to see it. It's a pleasure being here with you guys, but stay right here. Kendra is coming up next, and thanks for just continuing to watch Magic Game Day. Like I said, Courtside Countdown with Kendra is coming up in just a few minutes. You guys don't want to miss that, and I will see you next time. Thanks for hanging.
to Colombia. Afro Caribbean honey dip. Whipping out Abels, no condiments. From Barranquilla, no argument. She going hard like a gallo. Don't care what they say, hella fight, no. I'm chilling with babe with my eyes closed. Got the champagne with my blindfolds. I'm a flight in Miami. Chopping and dripping with Moosey the family. Dry top when I dry down. Acting hella savage like I'm Randy. I'm on 1,000. Living my life like I don't get no hoots about plan B's. My life something like a Tahoe. You're something like a Camry. Yeah.
Give the people what they want, cause I got it. I ain't lying. Locked in, I do it just for profit. I ain't lying. Love it how I break it down just like that. I ain't lying. Love it how I run the town just like that. I ain't lying. Love it how I break it down just like that. I ain't lying. Love it how I run the town just like that. I ain't lying. Who said they could top me? Step in the
What's up, Magic fans, and welcome to Courtside Countdown with me, Kendra Douglas, presented by Hard Rock Bet. You can catch the Magic game tonight on FanDuel Sports Network as the Magic get ready to take on the Chicago Bulls. We're back home. We're back home. I'm so excited to talk to you about this upcoming game. And don't forget, the game is going to be tipping off tonight at, I believe, 7:30. And so you can watch pregame coverage at 6:30 with me, Dante, Coach Hill, everybody. The whole gang is here. The whole gang is here today for all of our pregame coverage on FanDuel Sports Network. You're home for the Orlando Magic. But let's get into this. I see your comments already. I see the comments that you guys already had with Marley. I mean, she's killing it. She's crushing it. I love that you guys are getting involved, talking with her as well. Talking about this upcoming game. So we're back home. The Magic will be home for a 3-game homestand, starting with the Chicago Bulls tonight. Vooch is back in the house. He's been walking around talking with everybody. You know Vooch loves Orlando. The Orlando Magic community loves Vucevic, and it's so good to see him back in the mix of everything. Okay. I'm also getting hit with the basketball. And so hopefully we will not have that happen anymore so far. Did you guys like my reaction? It was great. Do we have Bo Outlaw? Oh, we got Bo Outlaw coming in and sitting with us as well. Bo, I was just saying, Vooch is back. Everyone loves Vooch. Vooch loves Orlando Magic. It's always good to see him come back and return.
I'm going to call it a homecoming because, when he was in Philly,
Yeah.
he didn't play much. When he became here, people knew who Vooch was. So I'm calling him coming home. Like, he has roots here. It's great to see Vooch. I'll be happy to see him all the time. His kids doing great. I got 3 little boys.
Yeah.
So it's good to see Vooch. I just don't need to play too good.
No, that's real. That's real. We do not need him to play too well. I want to ask you something. I want to talk about this last game with the Emirates Cup that they just played on Friday, the day after Thanksgiving. Desmond Bane, the way that he was able to facilitate, the way that he was able to score, mind you, those 37 points he had, he did it without a triple involved. What can you say about the talent that of Desmond Bane?
He's playing well, and to say he had 37 points and didn't make a 3 is, am I happy about that? I guess I should be, but no, I need you to make some 3s. That's impressive because what he's doing is getting downhill and not settling. He's getting to the bucket, getting fouled, and as you can see, he's distributing the ball.
Yep.
He's figuring out how to play with these guys and where to find them, where to look, and it's fun to watch.
He sure is. I mean, I gotta mention this. He poured in a season high 37 points against the Pistons. Those 37 points without a 3. It was the only 5th such performance this season in which a player has put up at least 35 on the board without hitting a 3-point shot this season. I mean, yes, we want to see him take those 3s, but I also feel like when I talked with him during the game, he said he got punked. He said this team got punked by Detroit the first time around. And so this time it felt like a little bit of a makeup game. They wanted to come back with a vengeance. They want that Desmond Bane of vengeance. You're really seeing kind of what he can bring to the table for this Magic squad.
So like I said, if you look at Desmond's game, just like every other team in the NBA, they're going to say Desmond Bane's only a 3-point shooter.
Right.
He's not. But because he shoots the 3 so well, driving lanes are going to be open. I need to get the mic closer.
I know. It's crazy.
That's crazy. So,
just kidding.
My mic don't work. That's what it was. It's not even on. That's the problem. So with him shooting the ball so well, he's going to get the respect on the 3-point line. So he's taking advantage of that and going downhill, which is allowing him to get to the bucket, get fouled and make it, or find his teammates, and that's what we need to do.
Yeah, no, you were mentioning that. I love that you mentioned that. This team has done very well with free throws made. They're getting to the line. They're getting fouled. Of course, it means knocking down those shots. You've got to make those shots when you get the opportunity. But, I mean, I think that's so important when you're talking about a team that's also been chatting about how much they want to help get the pace going, that they make those free throw shots. How important is that in a game?
That's very important. Like you say, we can get fouled and not make the free throws. But when you're actually making the free throws, it's getting your defense chance to set up, getting you a little breather, and you're getting 2 points. That's a great thing. So it's a triple-double. You're getting all the things that you want. Come back and just do it again, and they're taking advantage of these free throws, and we're winning the free throw game a lot of games, and that's important because you're also getting somebody else in foul trouble, which is taking a key play off the court for them. So it's a win-win for us all the way around.
It sure is. Some comments that we're getting from the chat. Our starting 5 will be the top 3 of all league stats by All-Star game, which should be really interesting. Let's see it. We got a mic check. And then, so I think that is very interesting. When he says our starting 5 will be in the top 3 of all league stats, you get Paolo back in the mix of things. And, of course, it's going to take a couple games to get, kind of acclimated. But I feel like that rings true of, this team and this starting 5 can be in some top categories going into All-Star break.
All the time. If you look at our team, the way we're made up and the way we play, we're going to be in a lot of categories all the time. The key is, can we take advantage of getting to the free throw line?
Yeah.
Forcing turnovers, not turning the ball over, because then that's the advantage. Because we're going to get a lot of shots up, but if we're making a high percentage, then we're taking advantage of it. We get to the free throw line making free throws, we're taking advantage of that.
Yeah.
So if we continue to play at this pace and this way, you got, like you say, you got a good chance of winning a lot of games, and that's what it's about, winning games, executing, and they're doing that at a high level right now.
I think the mic is still off, so I'm going to try to give you my mic still. But
what is going on?
Oh, it's on. Just kidding. Someone else was good. It was a fan. They couldn't. We need to tell the fan, turn your
audio
audio up. Turn your
Hit
audio
that
up.
little mute thing, that little X on your.
Turn your audio up. Okay, one person asks, what do you think the key for tonight's game will be, Bo?
Consistency. Just just do what you were used to. Share the ball, be unselfish, and play Magic defense. And we got a good chance of winning because you got multiple guys scoring. You're not just one guy scoring 30 points. Then you got another guy scoring 20. You got another guy scoring 15. Play consistent from quarter 1 to quarter 4. Yeah, you can't have a letdown. That's when teams come back. But if you do have that letdown, how do you bounce back?
Yeah.
So it's a couple of different things.
Yeah, I want to also talk about Franz Wagner. He scored 21 points in that game as well. That's someone, too, that has shown up and shown out for this team. I don't care what anyone says. Whenever he has this mask on, he has become so dangerous with this mask on. I've really enjoyed watching Franz Wagner elevate his game this season, and it's really good to see him continue to help this team out whenever he can.
Look at Franz's game. He's elevated every year, but I think, like I say, this season's a little different. And I'm going to give credit to this summer. The World Championships, they played, went to the championship and won, so that's letting you know they're ready to go next level. And him and Tristan played on that team, learned some things. If you look at Tristan, he's getting to the bucket as well, shooting the ball at a high level, so they understand how to be pros. My mic is back on again.
Yeah,
I need y'all mic stop going in and out. But yeah, so he's elevated his game every year, and that's all you ask as a player. Can you keep going up, trending up, and he's doing that. And when guys need you, go get a bucket and make a play, and he's more than capable of doing that every night.
He sure is. He has now had 13 games with at least 20 points, 5 rebounds, which is tied for the 6th most in the NBA. And that right there, I feel like, is showing you that Franz Wagner is a threat to this game and the way he's been able to grow with this team. He truly is a leader with this squad.
100%, like you said. He's a silent leader.
Yes.
If you look at it, he doesn't say a lot to the guys. He speaks to them not as often, but he leads by example. He go out there and try to make a defensive play. He go out there and get us a bucket. He make a hustle play. That's the type of leader. You like those guys because you say, hey, something happens, Franz is going to show up. Then you got Bane, who's going to be vocal. He's going to come out there and talk to you, pat you on the chest, like, come on, man, let's get it. So that's a good balance to have. And then when you bring in Paolo, who's another quiet leader, so you're going to have these guys, and it's just figuring out how to get all this to work in one piece.
Yeah.
And we're doing pretty good right now.
Before I let you go, Bo, I got a good question. Someone says, in your prime, you think you could crack the rotation with the Magic current roster?
Because I play defensive rebound, I'm going to say yeah.
Yeah.
I wasn't going to score no point now. I might get a transition dunk or two, but yeah. But
I love it. I love
think
it.
because of my defensive effort and coach likes defense, that and the activity I've had, I think I'll be able to crack some crack the court. You know, I can give the bigs a breather and play defense out there and not be a liability because I can bring the ball up and facilitate a little bit.
I love
if you don't
it.
know,
I love
check
it.
the video.
I love it. Bo Outlaw, everyone. Thank you so much, Bo Outlaw, for joining me on Courtside Countdown. You're watching Courtside Countdown presented by Hard Rock Bet. That was Bo Outlaw. We love that he always comes in and joins us because he's so much fun, so good to talk to and chat with. Let's get to some of your other comments that you guys are mentioning. I love what you guys are saying. Franz is the mass crusader. I like that one, Lewis. I like that one. That's a good one. And do you think we're going to Vegas? Yeah, I think the Magic will be going to Vegas. I think as long as they continue to do what they're going to do, they're going to go to Vegas. And let's check in with the players who were talking during shoot-around today.
First is to limit them in transition. You know, they get out and run. You know, they're a very fast-paced team. You know, makes or misses, they get it out quick. You know, for us offensively, I think we have to live in the paint a little bit, get into the paint as much as possible, but understanding they're going to shrink the floor. So, you know, when we get our open shots, kick out shots, we got to take them, make or miss. You know, the process has to be over the results tonight, and then, yeah, that's really about it. Yeah, and then limit Josh Giddey. Josh Giddey's playing at an all-time high right now, so, you know, it has to be a little bit of attention and focus to him and Kobe White also.
Transition defense. I think believe they're number 2 in pace in the league. So our ability to, one, take the right shot so we can make sure we're getting back and, controlling the way that we can get them into the half court. But we got to make sure we're, crashing the glass the right way, defending without fouling. Kobe White, has been in some games, out some games, but him being back, we know what he did to us last time he was here. But our ability to get back in transition and make them have to play a half court game is going to be key for us.
Have the one and only Dan Savage join us. We're back, Dan.
It's good to be back.
I know.
It's nice. Have some home cooking
It
right
does.
around the
It does. 3 opportunities for you, the fans, to watch the Magic here, and 3 opportunities to watch us on Courtside Countdown to talk about this Orlando Magic squad. So I want to get right into it.
All right.
Bo was talking about, how this team can win this game tonight. He mentioned consistency. You look at this Chicago Bulls squad. Now we know back in October they did not beat them, but if you ask Jeff Turner, he'll tell you October games, those were just like little games, workout games. Those didn't count. Because we are seeing such a different Magic squad now, I would say.
Well, if you look back in Jeff Turner's days, you have 8 preseason games to work the kinks out. Now it's down to 4. Some of those are international games or games that are outside of normal areas, like the Magic playing over in Puerto Rico, so you don't play the guys as many extended minutes in those situations. So when you look at teams across the league, those early games are often just an extension of training camp in the preseason as teams get things worked out. And I think for the Orlando Magic, we're seeing that things have gotten worked out, and there's been a big improvement over the last 15 games.
That's been so cool to see, too. I mean, to fully see this team find it and click together. I want to talk about the matchup going into tonight's game. I did not mention something you told me. Kobe White will be out this game due to a late scratch in this one. But Josh Giddey is the one that literally is a guy that's been just rolling so far for this team.
No question. When you talk about the head of a snake, relocation shooting, feet set threes, and then defending at a high level to generate opportunities for the team on the other end. And I think Tristan's done a good job of playing within himself, not forcing anything, and that's why he's had such success and looks so polished and poised over his stint as a starter. It's because he hasn't forced anything, he hasn't tried to do too much. I think a lot of guys, when they find out, oh, I'm filling in for Paolo, I have to match his offensive production, and Tristan hasn't done that. He's played within the framework of the Magic's offense and just taking the shots when they're there for him.
They sure are. I want to go ahead and get straight to your storylines for tonight's game. Hit me with them. What are you looking for going into tonight's game?
Well, number 1, transition defense. That is so important for this Orlando Magic team against the Chicago Bulls, because we know they're going to try to get out and run. They're the 2nd fastest team in the NBA in terms of pace, so that's going to be a big priority. Number 2, contain Josh Giddey. It's going to take all 5 guys, because he's one of those guys that can not only score the ball effectively, averaging over 20 points per game, but he can operate with 9.3 assists, 3rd most in the NBA, can rebound the basketball, so it's going to take all 5 guys playing on a string to really execute the Magic's defensive game plan. And then number 3, the Magic are going to have to take care of the basketball tonight.
Yes,
when you look at what they did wrong in that first outing, they had over 20 turnovers for 24 Bulls points, and that was an area that plagued the Magic early in the season. Since then, they've done a much better job of taking care of the basketball, whether that's Anthony Black, Jalen Suggs, Tyus Jones, etc. And so if you can control that and force the Bulls to play in the half court, you'll be set up for success tonight.
I love that. Those are all really good keys and storylines for you. I want to hit you with something, Dan, because I want to hit you with the last Magic player to score 37 or more without the aid of a 3-point shot was who?
Well, you know what Desmond Bane did it the other night.
Right.
So, it could go all the way back to maybe Vooch, who's behind us there.
That's exactly who it was. He did that, 37 against the Timberwolves on April 3rd, 2015. I thought that was such a good nugget when I saw that. I said, how fitting is it that Vooch is here and that Desmond Bane hit 37 and that we get to talk about it. So, yeah, I had to hit you with that one. I had to see if I could put you on your A game on this one.
I'm glad I got it right, because Vooch, who's behind us, probably wouldn't let me hear the end of it if I was incorrect and forgot about that performance, but that was a good one. Vooch with so many great memories, whether it was rebounding the basketball, coming up with big plays, or, leading the team in the playoffs in their series against the Bucks in the bubble. So he had many great memories for the Magic, and it's always good to see him in the building.
Yeah, it sure is. We have some questions on here and some comments on here. These comments are interesting today. Let me tell you that.
Right.
What is your opinion on Anthony Black?
Oh, I mean, you have to love what AB has done for the team, whether it was a game in Philly where 27 of his career-high 31 points came in the first half, or his effective defense down the stretch, culminating with a big block to secure the win in Detroit. So Anthony Black's been a two-way player all season long, and we've seen him in various games really shift the outcome of games with his performance on either end. And as we've talked about many times on this show, it's no secret when he scores in double figures, has a great offensive, aggressive outing, it often correlates with Magic's success in winning basketball. So that's the great thing about AB is his aggressiveness, his assertiveness on the offensive end translates to wins. It's not like he forces things. It's just when he gets downhill and is aggressive, he can create for himself and others. And that's why you have to love AB as a true X factor for this Orlando Magic team.
Yeah, that Detroit game, that was his 7th game where he scored in double figures, and the last time he did that was last January, and so I think that's very telling too about just how well he's been able to grow, stay consistent with this team. So kudos to him so far this season, and I hope that streak continues to go for him tonight. It'd be great to see him get 8 straight games scoring in double figures. Let's take a look at our upcoming schedule, because as we know, the Magic will be playing against the Chicago Bulls tonight. Then you have San Antonio, and then you also have the Miami Heat, which I think will be kind of like a nice little pre-matchup, pre-warm-up for what's to happen in the quarterfinals of the NBA Cup. You take a look at, what San Antonio is able to do and what the Heat are able to do so far this season, and those are going to be some good games for the Magic.
No question, and without a doubt, the game I have circled is that Miami Heat game, because how do you start building a real, true rivalry as the Magic and Heat have done over the last couple of years? It's have games with meaningful stakes against one another. And so I hope the disdain for one another and the fan bases really starts to grow, because that's what a true interstate rivalry is all about. And I have a feeling the Magic can come out on top of both those games, both this one next Friday and the NBA Cup game, and earn a trip to Las Vegas.
I know. Wouldn't that be great? All right, before we let you guys go, there were a couple questions about Paolo Banchero. He's still out, but he's making moves. He's making strides. He's warming up. He's doing some, I think, non-contact stuff. So continue to look out for that, as we will continue to give you updates on Paolo Banchero. Mo Wagner, also in the same boat, continuing to make the right strides. You guys got to remember, we got to play the long game when it comes to these things, not the short game. So they are also doing very well and finding a way to get back and return for this team, and we're going to look forward to that.
No, and one of the things that people have to keep in mind is when the team's traveling, when they're on the road for these long stretches, there is not much practice and on-court time outside of the games. And so this week will be so huge for Paolo. We're back at home, back at the Advent Health Training Center, get extended reps. He was out there after shoot-around today. It's not a situation where you have to leave a bus or you get forced off a court like you can during shoot-arounds on the road. So he was able to put in a lot of work today, and it'll be how he responds to those things and working with the training staff to get him back on the court. But the one thing about Paolo is, look, the team's winning right now. No need to rush it.
Right.
Make sure he's 100% back in full force, because this is a marathon, and the Magic need him, especially through the second half of the season and into the playoffs.
They sure will. That's perfectly said. And that will do it for us on Courtside Countdown, presented by Hard Rock Bet. I'm Kendra Douglas. That's Dan Savage. Thank you guys for joining us. Now you can flip over and get ready to watch the pregame show on FanDuel Sports Network. Magic Live, the pregame show with all of us. We're all going to be in the show today, so make sure you lock in and watch our show. And thank you guys for locking in with us, and we will see you in a couple days.
See you Wednesday.
Give the people what they